Zach LaVine back in Chicago for the first time since being traded away by the Bulls. And Chicago in the early going behind Matas Buzelis and company. Undefeated, and, well, this helps Buzelis. Little Euro step, gets the hoop and harm. Chicago up by 4 in the early going. Russell Westbrook to Zach LaVine, and LaVine looking good here on the step back 3. Chicago's lead down to 8. Malik Monk steals Isaac Okoro's pass and takes it all the way himself for a layup. Watch it one more time as Monk sort of hangs in the air and gets that to go. Then it's Buzelis driving in traffic, finishing with a finger roll over Sabonis, and it's 49-44. Later, it's Dennis Schroeder driving and finding and cutting Domantas Sabonis for the one-hand slam. Then Zach LaVine drives strong and rises for huge stuff here. And watch it again. LaVine still the incredible leaping ability as Sacramento leaps out to a 12-point lead. LaVine turns it over, giving Chicago a break. Josh Giddey able to finish with a little reverse layup. And at the break, we got a 2-point game. We're in the third now, and it's Giddey with a deep pass to Buzelis. He knocks down the 3 at 66-65. Then Giddey again, this time driving the lane. And watch the spin move to get himself open. He had 20 points and 12 assists on the game. Later in the third, it's Westbrook backing down Tre Jones in the post, dishing to Sabonis for the stuff. He had 18 points on the game. Chicago up by 8, and Chicago's on the fast break. Tre Jones to Buzelis, who finishes with a reverse lay-in. Chicago up 101-91. Later, Buzelis driving in the lane, scoring with a gorgeous sort of hand-switching layup. Here's another look as he glides to the basket. He had 27 on the night. Chicago by 13. Sacramento trying to find a spark, and boy, Zach LaVine tried to provide it. He had 30 on the game. That cuts the lead down to 15, but just too much from the Bulls. Tre Jones drives the lane, makes a layup to crush any hopes that the Kings had left. The Bulls go 4-0 for the first time since the 2021-22 season, and only the 5th time in franchise history. They win it by 13, 126-113.
Donovan Mitchell and the Cavs looking to stay hot in Boston. Cleveland at 3-1 against the struggling Celtics, who started 0-3, looking for a second straight win. Donovan Mitchell been red hot to start the year, 31 points a game, and he continue the good times rolling with this 3 right over Peyton Pritchard. Early lead for Cleveland. But the big issue for Boston has been the three-point shooting, just 25th on the season. Here's Sam Hauser open in the corner and knocks it down. He had 21 points, 15 of them in the first quarter. End of the first, Donovan Mitchell hangs, fires, and hits off the window. 15 points in the game for Mitchell. All of those points coming on the 3-ball. Boston on the season, while they've had their offensive struggles, are 9th in defensive rating. And here comes the D. Peyton Pritchard with active hands. Gets the steal on the assist. Jaylen Brown inside. Celtics by 4. Pritchard hits the deck, gets up, and gets the turnover. That would not be the only defense in the second quarter for the Celtics, so they open up a big lead. Derek White in transition. He gets the deflection on the alley-oop. Throw it down. Josh Minot, who had an 11-point, 14-rebound double-double. And the Celts up by 10 as home underdogs. Then, end of the first half, time winding down. Jaylen Brown creates separation. Pretty move. Watch this. Step back at the horn. Oh, yeah! A 20-3 run for Boston the final 4 minutes of the half. They put up 75 against one of the best defenses in the league in half number 1. What could Cleveland do to answer? It's DeAndre Hunter using the screen and knocks down 3. He had 18 in this one, but Boston had answers pretty much all night tonight here on the deep recovery. Oh, man, the bank open for Anthony Simons. He had 14 points, 4 threes off the bench. And then Jaylen Brown averaging 26 points a game on the season. He'd fight hard into the paint, gets this 2, and had 30 on the night. Boston still up 10. Derek White left open. His hot three-point shooting continues. He had 5 of them in this one. Boston pulls away to win by 20.
The Memphis Grizzlies have started the young season at 2-2. There's their leader, Ja Morant, as they take on Devin Booker and the Phoenix Suns. Mark Williams drives and finds a cutting Ryan Dunn for the throwdown. And in the early going, Phoenix up 6-2. Shot clock winding down. Ja Morant fakes and shoots a 3, gets it in, and Memphis now up by a single, 27-26. We're in the second quarter now. Colin Gillespie goes behind the back on the drive, gets a defender off him, and hits a mid-range jumper. He had 14 off the bench. Still second quarter. Cam Spencer drives in the lane, kicks it back out to Jaren Jackson, who rises and shines as he throws that one down. Jackson, 18 points and 6 rebounds. Nigel Hayes-Davis gets to the paint, uses his footwork, fakes, and hits there. At the break, Phoenix was up by 4, 53-49 in the third. Ja Morant, a nice behind-the-back bounce pass to KCP, who knocks down the 3. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope still shooting it, but Phoenix up by 3. Devin Booker with Morant on him, steps back, hits a long 2 as time expires, and it's 81-78. We go to the fourth now. Ja Morant with the crossover, darts into the lane, lays that one in. Watch it again. Memphis at this point up by 7, 94-87. Grizzlies out and running. Morant throwing it up to Cedric Coward. He's second among rookies in scoring in the early season. He had 14 off the bench. 2 minutes left in regulation. Royce O'Neal to Colin Gillespie. He finds Devin Booker, who shoots the 3 and hits it. He had 32. Memphis' lead is down to 1. Then O'Neal to Colin Gillespie. He finds Mark Williams wide open in the paint, who throws it down. Williams had 20 points and 11 rebounds. Phoenix by 1. Santi Aldama to Ja Morant, who drives and hits the floater. He had 28, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Memphis up by 1. Suns looking to win the game. Devin Booker with the heave, but it's no good. And Memphis hangs on by a single. Your final score, 114-113.
Hawks and Nets from Brooklyn. Trae Young and Atlanta trying to reverse a tough start to the year, just 1-3 against one of the final 3 winless teams in the NBA. Brooklyn coming in at 0-4, but the Nets were impassioned early, already up 7-0 when Nick Claxton inside and one off a nice assist from Terrence Mann. Brooklyn actually hasn't been bad this year on offense. They're top 13 in the league. They'd lead 12-0. Trae Young has really struggled shooting, but here draws some contact and one. Just 36% from the field, 19% from 3 for Young. Brooklyn still up 3 in the first. Then it's Atlanta getting dirty on the defensive end. Steal to Zachary Risacher. Lays it off for Onyeka Okongwu. But the Hawks would lose their star. Trae Young exited with a right knee sprain after just 6 points. So who would step up for the Hawks? Well, first, it's Kristaps Porzingis. Cleans up the block by Michael Porter Jr. after Luke Kennard couldn't finish. It was a big night, though, for MPJ on the mid-range. A huge night, one of 12 field goals he would hit. Hawks by 13 at the break, and they would continue it rolling on offense. Porzingis on the and-one dunk. 14 points, 7 assists, and 6 boards. But more MPJ keeping the Nets in it. 32 points, 9 boards, Nets within 8. We go to the fourth, 12-point game when this massive block from Day'Ron Sharpe. Brooklyn last in the league in defensive rating. Don't tell that to Sharpe, but too much from Jalen Johnson. Massive slam. Take another look. 23 points to lead the Hawks. He put the team on his back. Late fourth. One more rally here from Brooklyn. Beautiful follow-up by Terrence Mann after Nick Claxton couldn't get the lay-in. Mann had 11. Brooklyn to within 3 points here, but the shot's no good. Tipped, loose, can't get the finish. Luke Kennard with the rebound. He would ice the game with a couple free throws, and the Hawks survive a tight one in Brooklyn by 5.
Austin Reeves and the LA Lakers taking on Julius Randle and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Reeves arrives in this game as the 3rd leading scorer in the NBA. Both teams with some injured players, but Julius Randle's not worried about that. He's making a little up and under lefty floater. He had 13 points in the opening quarter. The Wolves get out in transition. Dante DiVincenzo sets up Jaden McDaniels for the and-one layup. He'd hit the free throw. Minnesota by 9. Timberwolves on the run. Rob Dillingham is emphatically denied by Jackson Hayes. That keeps it at a 7-point margin. And then off pick and roll, Dillingham bounces back as he sets up Rudy Gobert for the alley-oop. He stuffs that one home. Minnesota by 3. Rui Hachimura hands it off to Austin Reeves, who goes behind the back to create the space. He drills the 3, ties the game at 51. Later in the second, Julius Randle draws some contact, hits the jump shot for the and-one. He'd make the free throw as well. He had 22 points in the opening half. Minnesota by 1. Still second quarter. Austin Reeves fakes, drives, hits the floater, scores an and-one of his own. He'd hit the free throw. He had 18 in the first half. In the third quarter, Austin Reeves and Jake LaRavia just took over. Here's a beautiful pass from Reeves, finding LaRavia for from beyond the half court. Look at the catch and finish. A little and one. He'd make the free throw. He had 17 in the quarter, and then Laravia get the steal, leading to Reeves going up top to Dalton Connect, who had 15 in the game. LA up by 14 late in the third. Bones Highland gives the Wolves a spark as he hits a couple of three-pointers, including this one. Into the fourth quarter we go. Austin Reeves splits the defenders and finds Laravia, who nails another three. He had 27 points in the game, but a couple of threes got Minnesota right back into this thing. There's Dante DiVincenzo knocking down one, and then Jaden McDaniels hits one. He had 30 in the game, and all of a sudden it's a one-possession game with less than 2 minutes to go. A chance to take the lead now for Minnesota, and Julius Randle capitalized with the beautiful bucket there. He had 33 against his old team, so 7 seconds left. Lakers down one. Who did they turn to? Who do you think? It's the Austin Reeves show, an incredible runner at the buzzer. He had 28 points, a career-high 16 assists, and the Lakers, in thrilling fashion, get the win behind Austin Reeves. Your final score, 116-115.
A couple of struggling teams battling in Dallas. The winless Indiana Pacers, short-handed, but did have Pascal Siakam against the rookie sensation Cooper Flagg and the 1-3 Mavs. Well, Flagg's offensive struggles have been well documented, but here he starts things off with a power slam, and we're tied at 2. But with no Benedict Mathurin and Obi Toppin for the Pacers, Indy needed some other players to step up, and they'd get it. Jarace Walker finished with 20. Hits this three. Indiana by 7 early win. Anthony Davis knocks down this shot in the paint, but the bigger issue, see what happens after he lands. He grabs his ankle, exits the game, and would not return. Big loss for an already banged up Mavericks team. Pacers by 9 when a deep three. Mac McClung, so many guys out for Indy. He comes up and in his Pacer debut knocks it down, and the foul, 4-point play. Then Big D at the rim. How about P.J. Washington with the absolute rejection on Jarace Walker? We go back and forth. Tie game early third when. Nice hang up at the rim by Dwight Powell. After the Max Christie assist, Mavericks were down by as many as 14 in the first half. Come back to take the lead in the third, but there's Siakam. Pascal gets the N1. He would have a big second half. McClung, oh, what a denial. Look at this stuff by Cooper Flagg, playing hard on both ends of the floor. Welcome to the Pacers, McClung, as he gets denied. Dallas turns that into some offense on the other end. Brandon Williams had 20 off the bench. Mavericks over 60 bench points. Flagg, he's not a bench player. He is a stud inside. Flagg able to get the tough reverse layup and one. Flagg with 15 points, 10 boards. Late rally though, Siakam for 3. He had 27. Pacers within 4. Now it's a 6-point game. Another triple. This one goes down. How about the rookie Ray J. Dennis? He had 17. Then last chance, intentional missed free throw. Loose ball. Pacers work it perfectly. Aaron Nesmith, no! Can't hit the 3 at the buzzer. It was nearly a miraculous comeback. Couldn't ask for a better look, but the Pacers can't pull it off. 0-4 for the first time since the late 80s as Dallas survives a wild one by 2.
Zion Williamson and the New Orleans Pelicans trying to slow down the Denver Nuggets. Nikola Jokic looking to record his 4th straight triple-double to start the season. Only Russell Westbrook and Oscar Robertson have done that. Before we start you off in the first, Nikola Jokic pokes the ball away. Aaron Gordon runs the break and dishes to Christian Brown for the fast break bucket. Here's another look. Nice strip from Jokic, and then the Nuggets off to the races later. Brown turns the corner, drives down the open lane, just stuffs this one home, exploding to the rim for the jam, and Denver's up 16-11. Still first quarter, Peyton Watson with the huge defensive sequence. Not just one block, how about 2 blocks there? Reaching out and swatting a 3-point attempt as well. Nicely done. Now the Pelicans try to close the gap ahead of halftime. It's Jeremiah Fears attacking the lane and hooking a shot high and off the glass. He had 21 points in the game. Denver up by 16 still. Off pick and roll, Herbert Jones sets up Yves Missi for the alley-oop and jam, and that cuts the lead. Well, it's still 16-49-33. More second quarter. Trey Murphy pulls up from deep for the catch-and-shoot 3. Part of a 10-0 run by the Pelicans to end the first half. At the break, Denver by 6. In the third, Christian Brown collects the offensive rebound. feeds Aaron Gordon for the wide open three. He had 9 points and 10 rebounds in the game. And Peyton Watson comes up with a steal. Perfect little pass to Christian Brown, who throws it down. He had 17 in the game. Denver up 72-49. Still third. Transition. Jamal Murray gets his feet set, knocks down the big three. Part of a 29-2 run for the Nuggets in the third. Then Murray pulls the handles out of the bag and sets up a trailing Nikola Jokic for the easy stuff, and he did it. He recorded his fourth consecutive triple-double to start the season. 21 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists. Later, down low, it's Jalen Pickett to Jonas Valanciunas, who throws it down, and Denver in the end wins this one convincingly, 122-88. The Detroit Pistons have split their first 4 games of the regular season. Tonight they're taking on Paolo Banchero. And the Orlando Magic, we start you off. Cade Cunningham pokes away the pass, keeps it in play by finding Ausar Thompson, who's going the other way. Nobody's catching Ausar. He goes up for the stuff. Watch it one more time. Quick little look at the hustling defense from the Pistons. Ausar had 12 on the game. Paolo Banchero kicking it out to Franz Wagner, who hits a three. He had 14 points at the half, 22 in the game. Anthony Black lobbing the pass up to Wendell Carter Jr., who throws that one down. Orlando by 6, and off the pick and roll, Cade Cunningham to Isaiah Stewart, who dunks that one home. He had 9 at the half. Orlando, though, up by 8 off a miss. Paolo Banchero grabs the rebound, lays it in, gets the and one, makes the free throw. He had 24 points in the game as Orlando up by 5. On the other end, Cade backing down a defender. How about a little hook there from Cade Cunningham? He had 11 at the break, cuts the lead down to 3. Jalen Suggs goes to the rim and gets fouled as he's going to the basket, hitting Cade Cunningham in the face. There you see it again. He'd make both free throws. Cade would stay in the game with a little bit of an eye injury there. You see it's red. In the third quarter, Cade would later get a little revenge as he goes way up to swat that shot from Suggs. Then the Pistons on the break, and Duncan Robinson with the long outlets to Tobias Harris, who gets the uncontested jam there, largely uncontested at least. Cunningham then fires the pass to Duncan Robinson in the corner, gets the ball, sidesteps, and hits a three. Then Duncan Robinson cross-court to Ronald Holland, who goes to the rack and slams it in. He had 10 on the game. Detroit now up by 12. Tristan Da Silva drives baseline and hits the wide-open mid-range shot, the lead down to 10. Then Cade taking over. He had 30 points and 10 assists in the win. He gets a little hook, and he drives a little Euro step, then spinning, driving, and scoring the nice layup. He's the first Piston to score 30 or more, have 10 or more assists, 3 or more steals, 3 blocks in a game. Since those stats were recorded, Detroit takes it 135-116. Kevin Durant and the Houston Rockets trying to even their record at 2-2, taking on a Toronto Raptors squad that has lost 3 straight. We pick up action with Houston leading, but Brandon Ingram trying to do something about that. Spinning, fading, and hitting the jumper over Josh Okogie. There's another look as Houston in the early going sees their lead cut to 4. Quickly, the Rockets, after a made 3, go the other way. Amin Thompson to Kevin Durant for the slam. Then back the other way. Off a pick, R.J. Barrett to Scotty Barnes, who slams that one home. And it's a 4-point lead for the Rockets. 3 seconds left in the first. Houston up by 6. Let's add 3 to that because that's Tari Eason using the glass with class as he banks in a buzzer beater. Later, Clint Capella gets the pass cutting down the lane for the slam off a dime from Alperen Şengün. Then Toronto not going to let this get too far away. Brandon Ingram gets into the paint, hits the fadeaway. He had 29. R.J. Barrett drives, goes off the glass. Beautifully done. He had 10 points and 4 assists in the game. Toronto up by 1 now on the break. Emmanuel quickly denied by Kevin Durant, just racing back. We go the other way and picking some cherries. Hanging out is Amin Thompson, who gets the jam. 18 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists for him. We are in the third now. Scotty Barnes turn and fade there. Scotty really playing well, but Houston up by 5. They're leading by 7 now, and Kevin Durant goes to Jabari Smith, who feeds a trailing Şengün right down the boulevard. He stuffs that one home. He had 18 points and 8 rebounds. Houston by 9. Jamal Shead gets swatted here by Jabari Smith, who just races in with the help side defense. The lead at 10 now in the fourth. Houston a 12-point lead. Sandro Mamukelashvili spins around. Reed Shepherd finds Scotty Barnes on the baseline for the slam. Then Steven Adams to Jabari Smith inside. There's another look. He had 25 on the game. And then it's KD down the stretch, knocking down a three. And then one more time, Thompson to Kevin Durant, who had 31 on the game. All 5 Rocket starters in double figures. They get the W. Final score, 139-121.
Lauri Markkanen and the Jazz fresh off his 51-point outburst. Utah has not lost at home this year, 2-0, taking on the Portland Trailblazers' Jrue Holiday. And Portland would get off to a good start. This is Jeremy Grant for the corner three, who led all scorers with 11 in the first quarter. You're thinking, yeah, Utah couldn't possibly pull off another massive home upset, could they? Well, here's Markkanen, so much for the letdown game after he exploded last time out. He led all scorers with 19 points in the first half. Decided just to take it coast to coast there. Utah puts up 43 points in the first quarter, but Portland's defense would get them into this game. Shaedon Sharpe really struggling from three this year, just 17%, but he hits that triple, had 11 in the first half. Then Jrue Holiday on the drive and kick, Dwap Reith for three, who had 9 points. 79-73 at the half. Portland out in front. Then look at the behind-the-back dribble. Danny Avdija having an awesome early season. Had 19 in this one. Blazers were up double digits, but Utah, whoa, what a big play in transition. Markkanen gets the block. It's Ace Bailey, little between the leg pass, and Keontae George nails the three. This Utah team just will not go away. Projected to have the fewest wins in the NBA this year, 2-1 on the campaign. But Portland would go on a big run, now up 16 late third when Jrue Holiday, cold as ice, knocks down the step-back three. Headed to the fourth, at one point, it was Portland by 22, but here comes Markkanen and the Jazz, 2 of his 32 points right here for Markkanen, Hoop, and the Harm. Now down to the final minute, 7-point game. George lays it in, 5-point game. Are the Jazz really going to do this again? After a stop, it's George passing. Cody Williams at the rim. 3-point game after a foul of Jrue Holiday. Comes to the line, makes both free throws, lead back to 3. Utah gets fouled. Kyle Filipowski makes the first, intentional miss on the second, but it goes right to Jrue Holiday. He gets the game-sealing rebound, and Portland survives a massive Utah rally in the fourth to win by 2.